Hello, test stream audience, if there is a test stream audience. I don't know if anyone's on yet. I'm trying to coax my cat up onto the camera. Can you come say hi? I've got a pen. Come on, Darcy. He's looking at me so intently. The pen's over here. He's thinking about it. Fascinating test stream. I know. Oh. Yeah, good boy. Come back. Oh. And there he goes. You can kind of see him still leaning back. Yeah, there he is. Hello. Oh, I got him. This is Darcy. Say hi, Darcy. Good boy. Yep, you can go. Thank you for saying hello. Reluctantly. Okay. Okay, because there's 3 people in the audience. Hello, 3 people. If you're listening, I told test stream people they absolutely do not have to listen to this. I hope I can be heard. If anyone can hear me, please just say hi so that I know the audio is going through. That would be great. Is that good? Is that working? I think so. We're gonna assume yes for now. Okay. And now I'm going to put up the Be Right Back card while I put on my VR helmet, because there's no way to make that transition smooth. So. Oh, 4 people. Okay, controllers are here somewhere. Oh, that's my mouse. I should have found the controllers first. It's a learning experience. Into Quill. Should probably set up an advance next time, but I think, yeah, I'm facing the desk more or less now. I don't know whether a camera view is really necessary. I'll see if I can get a second opinion on that. I don't know. Any viewers who could hear me, if there are any, do you think that the camera view is entertaining or just bizarre and a strange choice? Oops, nope, not the button I wanted. There we go. Pretty sure I want. It's the Carmilla storyboard. There is. Remembering where I put by files is another thing that I'm glad I'm doing this week, and not next week. Incredible naming choices. What's the reference? Oh, there she is. Oh, camera stability, please. Oh, much better. Oops. All right. So here's the setup. Just check and make sure. Oh, I think the view will be interesting in general when you're playing games or actively doing a VR thing, and I also think it helps your branding based on logos I've seen in the guild. Awesome, thank you, Bathtubba. I don't know. You said guild, so I assume you're an Allegheny person. Thank you. I do not know Bathtubba by username. That's a new one for me, but thank you. I'm glad it's interesting, because I genuinely wasn't sure, but... Okay. So the way I've been working is I've had my reference on one side, and the character on the other. So I'll be starting a new character next week. This is Laura, who's the protagonist, as opposed to Carmilla, who's the title character. I think I did pretty good for my first character model. Shoes were a bitch. I should probably... Yeah, no, it's my stream. I can say what I want, and it's a test. It was, though. Oh, hey, Schaefer. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay, music is a touch loud. I can fix that. Yes, I can. I cannot fix it in the desktop screen in here, though, so one moment. Here we go. It's a little loud in my ears, too, honestly. Does that help on your end? Like, is it quieter, or... Because, like, I just turned the volume down through OBS, but it did not change it for me. Also, Dinga, hey! Thank you for being here. It is better? Okay. Because it changed almost nothing on my end, so... But as long as it's quieter on y'all's end, because I can't... All I have to do is read you guys. I don't have to hear you. Definitely quieter. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Too quiet or just quiet enough? It's so cool having people in the chat. It's really surreal. I don't actually have any particular plans for, like, working, because this character's finished, at least for the moment. Zoom on, I don't know, a little bit. I don't want to, I figure people want to see Carmilla from scratch, so I'll start her from scratch next week. And, not quite ready to start environment modeling yet. I could hop over to the storyboard, though that thing is so rough. It is very rough. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't realize my voice was being lost, but that makes sense. Okay. So we're good on mobile. Dinga, if you are on PC and can just check in on the balance for me, that would be very appreciated. I believe everything on my screen is still recording, which is good. Yep, it's still recording. And we haven't crashed yet. I love that. Also, I'm just like hanging here for an hour. Whoopsie. Did I press snap? No, I think Chill Hop decided to go to the next one. Okay. Combine on your end too. Excellent. Thank you. Getting used to the lag is definitely an adjustment. If it doesn't make sense how I'm moving my camera, it's probably because I'm looking at the chat and I can't really see the quill stuff when I'm looking at the chat. All right. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. How can you see chat? So I have like an Oculus menu that I can pull up, and one of the options there is virtual desktop. So I'm literally looking at my desktop screen when I press a certain button, but you guys can't see that menu. You guys just see the quill.exe window, which is this one. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. And I hope I'm projecting okay, because the mic, I'm not sure if it's, it might be using my Oculus mic, but it also might be using my web mic, my webcam mic, which would be like a little ways that way. Cool. Nice backing track. Good, good, good. Sorry, catching up with the chat. Let's see if I can, like, model ahead just, not by memory, that implies I'm basing it off of something, but like just a character from scratch. Just make her up. Why not? Paint layer. Move her down one. Look that good. I have no specific plans here, though I am still gonna like grab some colors from the ref because it's easier. Got all my brushes here. It's more 2D. First things first is a skull. Yeah. And I just use the line tool, which lets me draw straight lines as opposed to that kind of stuff. Am I using a Spotify playlist? I just wonder if the volume of the last song was just that last one or not. I'm using Chill Hop's creator program live stream because they guarantee that everything on there is royalty free. So I just have that playing, but I can check. Let's see. It just ended a quiet song. Let's see if the next one's louder or quieter. We can figure out if on average we're in the right spot or if we want to turn it up in a bit. I wonder if there's a way to fix the dB output so it's the same out no matter what the input is. That's a good question. That is something I don't actually know, but might be able to check. Oh, I think that is what this setting is. Right now it's at like 58.8 decibels. I think that's reasonable. I can go a little higher. Maybe, oh, higher would be, okay. Now I'm at 60.5. I don't know. If it seems on average from like track to track okay, then we'll keep it as is. If in another track or two you guys are still like, it's way too quiet, then I'll turn it up a little bit. Cool, cool, cool. a new chat message. I'm gonna blame that one song because it's been more than fine since. Cool. Okay. Excellent. I'm trying to find my inner streamer voice and, like, speak clearly. Casual but clear is a weird kind of balancing act. Let's do a sketch. So I'm just doing a loose profile sketch. I just want to see. So this is the brush grid helper. When I put my brush kind of close to it, it'll like show me the general like grid outline of a thing, like the mesh, as opposed to grid visibility is like the world grid, which actually that's kind of helpful to have. It feels like I have a grasp on my space. And then wireframe is like, yeah, polygons. That's what I haven't done with her yet, is I haven't optimized her. Okay, actually we're gonna do that. That would actually be genuinely productive and helpful for this project. Because I forgot, I meant to go back and optimize her after I finished sculpting her. And I did not, clearly. It's a lot of polygons. Okay. Are you planning on doing VR only? If so, it might be worth investing in a lovely microphone. That's the kind that clips onto your collar. Oh, yeah. That might be a good idea. I'm not necessarily doing VR only, but I am doing a lot of VR, is the plan. I figure some painting prep stuff might also be interesting for people to see, like, you know, the making of the model sheets and stuff like that. But yeah, generally it's going to be VR. And I never thought to get a lav because I generally associate that with theater, but you're right. No, that's actually, that would be really helpful, actually. One thing at a time, I suppose. Okay, so the stuff that we want to have more polygons is the stuff that needs to move. That's going to be largely the face. The limbs I have, and I'm just talking out loud now so that it's not entirely silent. I can delete both of these now. Unlock the lower model section. There we go. So I have her limbs. Oh gosh, is everything locked? Did I lock everything? That would be unfortunate. Oh. Why is this stuff still? Oh! Wait, why do I have a duplicate? What's happening here? Oh, that says Laura dupe. Oh, so this is the original model, and then this is the duplicate that I made. Okay. So we're going to keep that with all of its polygons, and we're going to mess with the duplicate, which is this guy. That makes sense. Okay. So I broke up the limbs so that I could model it like kind of piece by piece type of thing. So those don't need a lot of polygons because I'll move it in bit by bit. Same with like fingers and stuff, although I do want to keep, whoops, I forgot that there were other little details in there. Same with the fingers, except for where they're they need joints. I can simplify most of that. Taking off wireframe for a moment, okay. Tend to check in with the chat every so often. It literally only just occurred to me when you mentioned your webcam mic, yeah. And it's nice for you that you're going to do VR a lot because most streamers have to opt for a big arm mic for their desk and they're bulky and expensive. Our love's not that expensive. I never really thought about it before. Hopefully not. Oh no, the clone. Yeah, it is big. Come play with us energy. Yeah. I didn't realize she had a twin. And with like the kind of frilly dress, it's definitely horror energy. And not the horror energy that's intended. Okay. Let's try this again. We're enabling wireframe. There's the optimization brush, which I can make super strong so that it like just wrecks all the polygons, or I can make it more subtle and try to like work my way gradually. A little stronger than that. Yeah. Look at them disappear. Majestic. So that's a lot nicer than that. Let's do this a piece at a time. Magic. Okay, here's where subtle might be helpful. So this I might want to bend like right there. So I don't know if there's like a little bit of this I can. What's the simplest I can make this? Oh, too simple. Yep. Yeah, too strong. Okay, that's a little better. It might be worth just keeping most of the polygons on these because they're already so small. How does that look without? The shape is so much better with the polygons. They're so little. We'll optimize this end. And then it still has plenty of bending energy, bending ability. Deselect those. Upper arm. Yeah, that's not major. We're not going to miss that too much. And it's annoying to have like the selection blink and all of that, but like it makes sure that I have the right stuff selected, and if I just went in with the optimization brush, I feel like I would definitely delete things that I don't want deleted. So better to be safe than sorry. Oh, hey Mona! Ah, thanks for stopping by! Yeah, I've already made the Laura model. This was like the test to make sure that I could, learn how. I definitely didn't want to try making a person for the first time in front of everybody. So I made this like a couple months ago. She's not optimized though, so that's what's happening right now, is optimizing her model. Mostly because like I had no plan for this test stream, absolutely none. My plan was just have it running for an hour. So I was trying to think of something to do, and I was gonna like do a spur of the moment character head, but then I realized I had not optimized her wireframe, and she has so many polygons, more than needed, many more than needed. So we're gonna try to fix that because it needs to get done anyway. So that's where we're at. I hope I'm not interrupting you from class, Mona, if you're listening. And if you're not, then you might be in class, which is fair. That makes sense, yeah. Yeah. Balancing stream and chat is a fun new skill I will be developing, clearly. I don't think any of those polygons are needed. Haha! Much nicer. But yeah, I don't know how streamers with like massive audiences balance chat, and I guess they have moderators to help them or something. But I like the dialogue. It's just tricky to balance. I wonder, that's one thing I haven't checked. I'll look in the next week if there's a widget of some kind that like I can get a chat box to just have floating in the air somewhere over here. Though I'm not sure that's a thing. I think from what I've seen of other VR streams, like with Goro Fujita and Daniel Martin Pei, their live streams on YouTube always have them staring into the void as they check the chat. So as far as I know, that's still the best solution. It would be cool if you had some kind of HUD indicator on your VR set that dings when you have new chats. Yeah, that might exist. That might exist. That might be as simple as, I don't know, setting some kind of, like, chat alarm sound or chat indicator sound on OBS and having it play in my headset. Yeah, I'll try that. I'll look into that. That should be manageable. It's the weirdest things in VR that I find satisfying. Like, simplifying these polygons makes me feel like a wizard. Oh, right controller battery low. Okay. I think it can probably last the rest of this stream. Yeah, oh, absolutely. It can last a half hour. That's just the first battery notice. It's going to give me at least, like, 15 to 20 more before it really starts insisting that I fix it. Maybe not that many, but quite a few. Right. Those look much better. Okay, I guess both sides kind of have that. Is that the best we can do on that joint? Okay, that's better. Get that on too. Yeah, those look good. Okay. That's much nicer, and if we undo the wireframe, it still looks pretty good. The palm might be a little pointy, but I don't think that's gonna make or break. If it really bothers me, actually, and it might, because these things do, I'll scooch that boy out the way and try, can I just borrow you? Thank you. Yes. I do like that better, but does it look right? If I take the wireframe off, I gotta make sure everything lines up okay. The palm looks logical. I'm checking with and without the wireframe to make sure. It's got a little bit of a weird divot in it, but you really can't see it without the wireframe. It's just the brushes being a little weird when I made it. Ah! Why'd you float away? I think I just got my head too close to the object, and then it loses track of my hand, and then it makes things float. Just run away. How's that look? When I grab to look at it, the select just doesn't blink, which is nice. It's all pretty intuitive once you get going with it. The problem is, like, initially it's overwhelming because anything is possible. That's all I wanted. Hands are so weird. The more you look at them. I should probably check chat at this point. I'm too wiped for class tonight. Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to be lurking tomorrow, so maybe we'll both be in chat tomorrow, Mona. Then Schaefer. It would be cool if you had some kind of, yeah, HUD indicator. It would be... Sorry, there was a vocalization in the soundtrack, which is louder in my ears, and it scared me a little bit there. It's so much easier out of here because you can just get another monitor and chat nearby. Yeah, absolutely. Be careful with sound, though, because you might not want a ding for every message. Yeah. No, for sure. Maybe like a timer? No, because every 5 minutes is way too few. Whereas if for other chats, it would be way too much. I'll have to give that some thought. Best way to tackle the chat balance. Yeah, I forget sometimes that some of these lo-fi tracks have, like, human vocalizations in them. Like, I thought it was about to happen, but, like, every so often you have a guy going, and I don't remember that it's going to happen, and then it kind of catches me off guard because there haven't been human vocalizations on my end. Like, even Zach's not in the house because he's off at work, so there shouldn't be people in my house. I've just been staring at this hand. I think yeah, we're going to let it go. I think it works. And we're going to get rid of that. Okay, that's arms. Costume. Okay, this is going to be tricky. This stuff is all going to be moving, like, piece by piece. Like, I'm going to be taking, like, the whole forearm and hand or the whole shoulder or whatever. So the shoulders aren't going to move much at all. So those can be low polygon. There we go. Simplify those. Does that include, wait, did I, Okay, so I definitely just grabbed the shoulders there and not, there's all these little, like, frills. You can't see them with the wireframe, but the white frills are each an individual brush stroke, which I should probably go in there and, like, and I will go in there and simplify each of those because, like, it shouldn't need that many polygons. And I think I'm just going to make this real big. Yeah, now we're ants. They are so fucking cool. The weirdest things remind me how cool it is. It, like, you know, now we're having this ant view of the head, which is just wild. But if I select one of those, yeah, see, that's way more than it needs. Turn that all the way up. Oh, okay, no, maybe it does need them because now it's a square. Maybe this program knows what it's doing when it makes a brush stroke. Okay, it can be simplified a little though, and every triangle counts. I'm really close to the border of mine. You guys can't see when the Guardian pops up, but the Guardian is like a kind of box that shows up around me when I'm too close to an edge, and there's a wall that I've put, like, around where my desk is to make sure I don't run into the desk when I'm doing more active things. So sometimes that pops up and I have to move away from it. Hello from Chicago! Yay! Hey, Ben! Oh, thank you so much for popping by, Ben. And thank you to any of your coworkers who can hop in, because right now it's just a numbers test. you know, and I know I'm not going to be able to, like, max test, but I also don't think next week's stream is going to be, like, overwhelmingly large. So this test should do just fine. Okay. Are we going to do all these right now? No. No. We're going to zoom out and do the big stuff first. Though you can even tell from back here that simplifying it just that little bit, like, you can actually see the color through the wireframe now, which is much more reasonable than before we simplified the wireframe, where it's just a black frill when it's got too much going on. Okay. So there's a torso underneath there somewhere. There we go. Okay. All of that will be moving probably as like a unit. Like when I'm animating it, I imagine it's going to be like me. Let me grab it? That would be nice. It's going to be me like grabbing the whole piece and like turning the torso where I need it to be. So as much as I can simplify it would be good. I have that too subtle. This is like how strong the optimization is. So if I'm all the way up here, it will like just decimate the polygons. And that actually, I thought that was going to make it get really janky, but that might be exactly what we want. Honestly, not bad. Not bad. Sometimes you don't need as much or as many polygons as you think you do. Turn that wireframe off. Yeah, that still looks great. Oh yeah. Awesome. Check and chat again. Oh, cool. That's so... Schaefer says that he's reconnected his PC and is like streaming it onto his TV, which is lovely, but so weird for me to think about that I'm just like on somebody's television, just doing this work that I just do every day anyway. But very cool. Weird, but cool. And only weird because I'm not used to this yet. Okay, so here's a risk with optimizing is like, this is trying to like perfect this shape, this kind of bosom shape that I want from the side. Like, you know, it kind of tilts here. But if I simplify this too much, like there it was before, it simplified it and tightened it such that we've got some skin from the chest peeking out, which I do not want. So it's a tricky thing. I'm gonna take away what I can, but try to not give myself more work to do. For most torsos, you probably wouldn't even need this. Like, whatever this shape is in here would probably be enough. But she's not just wearing, like, a t-shirt. She's got, like, this bustier thing going on. So I had to kind of creatively make sure that the shape I wanted held, which is why those pages are so important, the model sheets. You can literally see I was, like, trying to plan, like, brushstroke by brushstroke how I would build the torso and like the shape of the dress over the torso. Whoops, I just clicked something. And it actually ended up more or less the way that I planned it, but like there's an extra piece up here that I didn't account for because it's tricky to say how. I was going to say how the clay will react, and it's not clay. It's technically digital brush strokes, but like it kind of feels like shaping clay in a way. It's a strange thing. Strange thing. Some of this also looks kind of messy with the wireframe, but isn't nearly as messy looking without, thank goodness. I'm a film star now. Ah! Schaefer said he's going to put me full screen so that I'm the first thing people see when they get home. And I simultaneously am like, thank you, but also, stop! But also, thank you. Yeah, the back color's a little awkward, but it should read fine. I'm realizing that when you guys eventually, like, actually experience, like, the final product, you're gonna know where to look for all the flaws, because I'm showing them off online, but that's okay. I think it's important to show that, like, the process is really messier than the final product looks, you know? Like, even for the really professional stuff, some stuff's just kind of, you stumble through it and you do your best. I should probably put a brush stroke to block the bottom of the jaw at some point, because you can kind of see your teeth modeled thing through there. The inside is horrifying, really, as one would expect when in the inside of a skull. But for now, I'll worry about it later. It won't be that bad. Probably just like one flat brush stroke, like one of these guys. I'll start it small. And the cool thing is that, so I can use the straight line tool or trigger it while I'm painting and draw a straight line. I can also start a brush stroke at one size and then make it bigger at the other end, which is really nice. So like I'll take that color and kind of make a weird little like guitar pick shape. And basically like stick her under there. And obviously that's too small, but we've got a thickness tool and a nudge tool. A thickness tool should do it. Just widen it out. Trying to, it keeps it symmetrical, which is nice. I don't know if you can tell, I'm kind of, you can see how crooked it is when we get this small. That'll more or less do the job. The goal is to make sure that people are looking at the story when they get a view under her chin, not looking at the inside of her and going, weird, why is there a hole there? Yeah, that'll do. And now I've done the thing that I said I wasn't going to do right now, but it wasn't that bad, so it's fine. Hey. It's a little wiggly. Oh gosh. Wait, okay, so if I do this, I think I can take the nudge tool and can I nudge it back in? Strengthen that. Please nudge. No? Grab tool maybe? Just wait. Yeah. Dang, it's all wiggly. This is the part that I wonder if it makes good or terrible content, is where I'm getting so involved with what I'm doing that I start muttering to myself, which I do often. Is that fun content, or is that just bizarre? Maybe both. Well, over there it's way wider. Whereas over there, it feels lined up just right. Love that. Okay, so I can bend it that way. Can I bend you That's okay, that's better. It can be kind of tricky to get it to move in certain ways. This side feels lined up, that side does not. Like, thicken and thin, is that so? Is thin just the opposite? Haha, thin is just the opposite of thick. Quote me on that one. Thin is the opposite of thick. Deep quotes from Lizzie, 2022. Scooch her up there. And I'll be looking over here. I think it's rotated, and that might be part of the issue here. Well, that's better. Well, that'll do just fine. There's a bit of a hole there, but that shouldn't be an issue. Ta-da! How's chat doing? Post the link more places, understood. No, Ben! I mean, do what you want. You know, it's one of those things. It's always going to be one of those things for me of like, you know, I'm psyched to have people here enjoying the content, and simultaneously, you know, posting my face everywhere online doesn't feel intuitive to me. It's all about knowing how to hide the flaws. That's exactly right, Mona. It's literally exactly right. And when the camera angle is something you have a little less control over, it can be tricky in VR, but not impossible. Very, very doable. Just kind of a new skill to learn. Simplify that guy. Strengthen that. Now here's one of those things I remember getting really anxious about this when I was building this initially, is we've got a little bit of like seamage. Seamage. New words. A little bit of a seam here of like this stroke breaking through here, but because they're basically the same color, my guess is that if we turn off the wireframe, yeah, it's not even an issue, really. Like, yes, you can see it, but like only when you're real up close. It should be fine. And if something's an issue in a specific scene, like, oh, I can really see that flaw and that's a real issue, then I can literally just edit the one in that scene, like the copy of her in that scene, and perfect it there. But like, it's not an issue to like agonize over. No, we're not going to do the frill yet. I don't know what's with me and the temptation to like do teeny tiny details or fix teeny tiny details. But one should generally do the bigger stuff first and work your way smaller. Wait a moment, that's my phone. Apologies. Oh wow, only 10 minutes of stream left. Huh, an hour's not nearly as long as I thought it would be. Though having an audience really helps, the conversation is nice. In a bright space, I imagine a lot of the experience is going to be in less than ideal lighting. Yeah, for sure. The dramatic, darker lighting in the final piece will definitely help hide some flaws. Aww. Schaefer's kitten is playing with window decorations for Halloween. Very cute. Very, very cute. How do we want to do this? Okay, we'll do the skirt first. This feels somewhat scandalous, but it's fine. The blinking skirt. The edges are fine. Yeah, that was an easy one. I guess I could go simpler. See the difference there. Ah, there's some breakage over there. Okay. So that's probably the right place to simplify it at. Cool. Before we do like little bows and frills, I'm gonna I am going to go for the legs. Let's see if I can I move this? The downside to not having separate layers on these right now. Oh wait, no, we can, okay, if I select these two and I make a new paint layer, I believe, yes, now those are on their own layer, so I can literally just disappear them. Love that. Simplify this. Is this scandalous enough that Twitch is going to take me down? I don't think so. That feels a little too angular. Like, her thighs are not going to be showing. Her calves will be, though. I think I'll simplify the top a little bit, but there's like a little bit of, it doesn't sound perfect, but some subtle like calf shapes that I've tried to kind of work into here. I'm going to try to preserve that a little bit. Oops, not too much. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, let's look at that red. If we take the wireframe off, yeah, those still say leg and not pyramid or triangle or polygon or anything of that sort. This is going to be a really major spot for potential breakthroughs because these shoes, if I may say so myself, the shoes look pretty solid all in all, but yeah, okay. The closer you get to them, the more you can kind of see spots where it breaks and where there are seams. So I'm going to simplify it because we want to simplify as much as possible, but I definitely have to be hyper aware of not oversimplifying and having the feet sticking through or anything. Should do fine. What happens if we go a little stronger? Always better to check and see if the next strength breaks it. Because if it doesn't, then you're in good shape and you can always undo it. Yeah, her feet are breaking through the bottom. That's something that scene by scene I will have to adjust. But like if we're behind her, I might like literally delete her feet, like the feet, or maybe like let them break through the top of the shoe because the top of the shoe is not in frame. Things like that. That will be a scene by scene issue. I thought that was selected and that it just wasn't simplifying. Nope. That we can simplify as much as possible. That's just a rectangle. Yeah. Yep, Laura was going for a little swim. Is she still? She might, yeah, she still is. Yeah. I'm glad it reads swimwear, though. It'd be a lot more awkward if it didn't. I honestly thought about making the skirt one solid shape, Mona. The issue was, I can actually show this off. Wireframe is on. So I wanted to use the cylinder brush, right? I just do. Wait, did I use the cylinder brush? Why did I? 1 minute, I'm calculating my own choices. I'm rethinking my life choices. I think the reason, okay, so the reason I did the round brush rather than the cylinder brush, which would give me a nice clean shape at the bottom, blocking shape, was that from various angles, the round brush felt rounder, like it felt more skirt-like, floofy skirt-like, whereas this shape gave me, like, it felt like if you were going to put the original Laura Croft in a dress, that's what her skirt would look like, you know, just very polygonal. And so because this felt too polygonal, I went with this shape, which I then took the eraser tool and never erased. I swear you can erase. Erased the bottom of it until I reached the height that I wanted. I think I did that to the top too. But the result is a slight gradient at the bottom. But since I have an outline, like, you know, specific stylized outlines all over the place. I'll turn the skirt back on. You can see it now that you're, like, looking for it. But from far away, it's not really a problem that there's a little bit of a gradient there at the bottom of her skirt. So that was where I ended up. The cylinder brush is definitely would have been a valid take. Actually, I wonder. I should have done the cylinder brush. I didn't think to use the thickening tool on it, because as soon as you use the thickening tool, look at that. That's majestic. That's beautiful. Oh, I've made a horrible mistake, but she's already made, and I do not want to redo it. Cute though. The lesson here is that I should consult Mona on more things. She's very smart, and she thinks of things I don't. For the next model, yes, exactly. Bye, Ben. This is just me catching up with the chat. Yeah. I am also lazy, Mona, but I'm so lazy that I didn't... I think it was because it was my first time, like, building something serious in here, and it was hard for me to wrap my head around all of my tools. So I knew the thickness tool was there, but I wasn't, like, I didn't have a really good handle on how and when to use it. So as soon as I saw that this wasn't going to do it, rather than trying to find a way to make this work so there was a cap off at the bottom, I was like, there's an eraser tool. Yeah. It was lazy for an uninformed user. No longer... Yeah, I would definitely do the cylinder next time. For sure. But we all learn lessons. Oh, one of the other downsides, and another reason the cylinder would have been a good idea, when you erase parts of a shape that's, like, enclosed, like a, like just drawing a sphere, when you erase that brush shape and then look inside, wait, the inside is transparent, so it looks solid from outside, but it's see-through underneath, which is really helpful for keeping, like, polygons down and stuff. But if I had to get a really low shot of her, I'd probably have to end up remodeling. I'm going to end up remodeling this skirt. That's okay. It's another stream's worth of content. I've learned a lot since making her. Oh, that's really funny. I do appreciate the observation, though, Mona. Thank you. Like, actually, that's not me being, like, passive-aggressive or sarcastic or whatever. Like, I genuinely do. My project is much better than it might otherwise be for many of your observations. It's so easy to get blinded on your own project. Especially one this big in scope. Even the smaller scope version that I'm working on, which is, you know, right now I'm just trying to get 2 scenes of the entire project done and in working order for, like, a portfolio piece. Even that can be, it's so easy to get overwhelmed or, like, focus on the wrong stuff because you're trying to do everything at once. Big projects are tricky. They're worth it, but they're tricky. Hey Dan! The Squid Mafia, what a good username. Thanks for stopping by, Dan. I appreciate it. You should pay attention in class. But I appreciate that if you're gonna sneak out, that you're here. And just having the stream on is really helpful today, because the biggest thing for me is just wanting to make sure nothing breaks. So far, this is all going very smoothly. I'm quite delighted. Oh, yes. I love seeing those polygons disappear. I can feel the stress being lifted from my computer. It's already loads better. Oh my goodness, it's loads better. I might even do a second pass eventually and see if I can simplify even more, but so far this is enough. What happens if I just simplify as much as possible? Heck yeah, that looks great. That looks just fine. Deselect. Yeah. Also because the line work is carrying, but that's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Let's save, because we don't like losing things. Beautiful. Okay. We've got the ruffle still, we've got these guys, we've got all the little all the little edging. And then we've got her hair and head. Let's do the other details on the body, because, like, if I'm gonna have extra polygons anywhere, the head is where we want them. Where are we on time? Oh, technically the stream was scheduled to end 3 minutes ago, but I'm having a good time, and I'm being productive, and yeah. Your old AIM name is Squid Mafia. That's great. That's excellent. It's a shame I didn't watch Twitch when we were suffering from Cap Hammer. Oh, Cap Hammer was me and Dinga's computer science teacher. He was great. He just, at least for me as a beginner student, was a little advanced. Her face with polygons looks really scary. It does. Powerfully analog horror. Yeah. It does. One day, I wonder if we'll get some, like, you know, when VR is more mainstream, some, like, VR horror about VR as a medium of horror. I guess the FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's VR game is kind of that. Like, it is a little meta, but I mean, really taking advantage of the meta would be an interesting thing to see. It's probably a little soon for that culturally, though. Oh, Jesus, how many... how many, brush strokes did I use for these frills? Okay, I think that's all of them. I think I used a couple, clearly. I mean, it did the job, but feels like it could have been a little better. Excellent. Yeah, that more or less works. I'd like to grab that. Can I have just that? Just that? No. I just want that black. That black brush stroke, please. Thank you. Take that guy. There's a couple here that have gotten hidden. And if they're not going to be seen, I'd rather just get rid of them or just make sure they're seen properly. I'm trying to grab that. Haha! Success. Haha. That guy's swimming a little bit. There we go. And some of the outline's a little wonky, but I think it does the job. Let's do these little ribbons next. Oh, so like I said before, I planned on just doing an hour of this, 1 to 2, just to make sure everything was functioning, and it seems to be. So if anyone is just here by obligation of my requesting you for the testing of this, you are welcome to go, and I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you'll come next week. And if you want to stick around, I appreciate the company, because as long as I'm being productive here, I mean, we have most of her done. Why not do that home stretch and finish her up, right? So that's where we're at there. Why are you connected like that? Oh, there might be enough, like, residual, like, sign of this object where it used to be, because, like, I erased this edge, that when I try to select this guy, it was selecting both. But I think if I just put my mouse over it until it, like, oh, there. No, come back. Got her. Took a little doing, but we got there. It looks like these can't actually be simplified. Good to know. Can you guys? I don't want the skirt. Oh, I guess it also doesn't hurt to have the skirt attached, now that I think about it. Either way, it looks like these ribbons are actually as simplified as they can be, which is great. Didn't expect that. Now, let's see about these guys. Oh. Okay, it's going to be virtually impossible to not grab the skirt while doing this, so we're not going to try. I'm waiting for the blink so I can see the strokes on the other side. There we go. I think that's everybody. More or less. And then we don't want this to be too strong, because then we lose the curve in these little things. Yeah, no, I just turned those into little squares. That's not what we want. That one's good. That one's not. Yep, okay, still round. Yep. Okay, so the sides are getting straight, but they still read as like circular. Good. That's all that matters. Yeah, those look pretty good. Once you find the right setting, simplifying them doesn't take too long. Oh, much better. As compared to these dense guys up here that I also need to grab. Let's start with the flowers. Let's start here. Checking chat. I hope you guys can hear me clearly, those of you listening. I keep trying to remind myself to use my theater voice and be a little more projecting and purposeful, because I have a habit when I'm working, as I've mentioned before, I end up muttering to myself and talking as I work, like even without an audience. So I'm trying not to do that so that you can hear me clearly. I love that ant view. It's just surreal. Oh, too strong, too strong, too strong. That's better. Those will read just fine. Okay. Deselect. Let's try reselecting. Get that many at least. Now we're behind her head. Trying to get the ones behind her hair. I guess we could just, whoops, don't want to do that. Just, there we go. Just phase through her hair. Now we're inside her hair. Does the job. In that sense, it also helps that, like, closed shapes, like closed brush stroke shapes, when erased, are transparent from the inside, because it lets you get at stuff behind it if you need to. Optimization. Mm. Alright. Oh, much better. Much, much better. Let's tackle some hair. I think that's all as optimized as it can be. Ooh. Much better. Oh. Get over curls. Can definitely simplify the tops pretty dramatically. But as we get closer to the bottom, I want that like kind of curved, soft feel at the end. Oh. No, that kept it pretty well, even when I simplified pretty low, so maybe we'll go lower than I thought. Grab these two again. Let's get all these hair pieces. Whew. I think this can all get pretty darn simplified because they're pretty flat. Yeah. Yep, that'll do it. Oh, good, we got those two. Good. Can we go even stronger? Looks like it. Neat. It still looks solid. Yay. Cool. I can get really simple. Alright. So we reached the face, the analog horror face. Honestly, like, okay, so I know I can simplify the forehead. It's not going to move a lot. And the nose bone, this whole bit, that's not going to move much, actually. Neither of these really should. Cool, cool. I hesitate to simplify too deep on these because these are all bits that, like, for expressions I need the ability to stretch and move, and I don't have enough like expression forming experience in this to want to get rid of much in the way of polygons there quite yet. So I might just call it here for the day. Oh, turn that wireframe off. Looks basically unchanged, which is good because if She looked entirely different after optimizing. That means I didn't do a good job. Save that. And I think we're good. I'm gonna press quit on that. And switch us to just chatting. Got marks on my face like I always do after extended VR time. Thank you everybody for coming by today. This was really helpful. In some ways even more helpful than next week because, like, you know, I want to regularly do streams, but this first test was where I was most nervous, like, about things breaking or not knowing how to do stuff. And so, like, I feel a lot more comfortable now. And I'm looking forward to next week. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mona and Troy, who I see specifically are still in the chat. And everybody who's just been hanging out. I see 7 folks in the audience. So thank you for coming by. And that's the end of this Peculiar stream. All right. See you soon. Bye.